After receiving an emergency call from her grandmother asking her to come quickly as her heart didn't seem okay, Sahra left her work and went to her grandma's house to save her, only to be surprised by her childhood friend, Denise, who also got a call from his sick grandma and couldn't find her in her house next door. Both of them were worried that something could have happened to their grandmothers, so Denise tried to break into the house from the roof, but the window was closed, so Sahra used Denise's helmet and broke the door. At that time, their grandmothers arrived totally safe and sound. They had planned everything to bring these two back together and reignite an old crush, but this was kept secret between them, pretending they did this because they missed their grandkids. They thought once they meet, love would be in the air, but in reality, Sarah and Denise were arguing for no reason on stupid things. To avoid conflict, Denise's grandma took him back to her home, where he told her to never lie and worry him to death like this again. Back to Sahara, she was so busy with work, mainly due to her ultimate rival, Karam, the most annoying and hateful person ever at her workplace. Both were competing for the editor-in-chief position, and the one with the best idea for the magazine cover next month would get the promotion, while the loser would have to resign. To impress her boss, Sarah announced that she would interview a very famous photographer known only by his name. Even though his pictures mesmerized everyone, he refused an international award and any public appearance. Sarah was just buying some time as she had no idea how to find him. The drama didn't end there. The grannies didn't bring them together to keep avoiding each other. They had many ideas to get them back together. Sarah's grandma asked her to deliver a plate to Denise's grandma to force them to meet and talk about old memories. However, when Sarah got there, the tension was intense between them. They couldn't even spend a minute without expressing their frustration for being there. Denise tried to intimidate her, and she wished people like him would disappear, and left. The grannies were disappointed their plan didn't go well, so the next day, they tried another one. Denise's grandma asked Sarah to help her get her stuck cat on a tree. Sarah rescued the cat, but the grannies pretended the chair fell by accident and acted too weak to lift it, and called Denise for help. He was actually frustrated that they woke him up for this. Still, he tried to help, but Sarah refused and decided to go down on her own, accidentally injuring Denise's head. He was mad at her and went home. Sarah felt this was too far, so she went to apologize, but he gave her no chance to talk. While she was there, she saw a picture of the photographer she was looking for. It was the first picture that made her fall in love with his work. She was surprised to know that her childhood crush was the mysterious man everyone wanted to see. She went home thinking how to get him to forgive her and agreed to do the interview, so she called her friend to come and help her with the plan. First, she invited him and his grandma to a perfect breakfast to lighten the mood, but Denise didn't show up. When he arrived later with his friend, Sarah gave him a gift, a new helmet instead of the one she damaged before. She thought that would be enough to please him, unaware her friend had picked the wrong colors, and he ended up laughing at it instead. Since her plans were ruined, Sarah thought she might have to resign until her friend thought of another plan. They decided to get close to his friend first, and then he would convince Denise for them. The plan went well. And once that friend knew Sahra was searching for a beautiful natural place to film the current month's cover, not only did he offer the perfect place, but he asked Denise to take Sahra there, while he would spend some time with her friend to brainstorm ideas. Sahra thought this was a perfect chance to make up with Denise. He took her there, but it was a silent trip. Neither of them said a word. They got to the beach and couldn't start a conversation. However, their love was showing as they were sneakily taking pictures of each other. He then took her to a calm place to check it out. Finally, they talked a little about their past. He asked her if she still collects rocks from every place she loves as a memory. She was surprised he remembered that, and decided to seize the moment and do something crazy. She pushed him into the water and jumped after him, thinking it would be a fun, wild experience. But it took the wrong turn, because he lost the motorbike key and they had to walk back. On their way back, Sarah tried to find words to explain her intentions, but Denise was mad that nothing went right in her presence. She apologized again, however, he asked her not to talk to him ever again, as every time they were together, something bad happened. As for their friends, they became close in a couple of hours and their chemistry was on fire. The next day, the grannies had a better idea. They hired two men to harass Sahra, so when Denise saves her, he would be a hero. They planned everything to put both of them at the same place. Then the two men started stalking her, and Denise saw them and ran to help, but there was no need, because Sahra did the job. She hurt them badly, causing them injuries until Denise and the police took her away before she kills them. All of them were arrested since the police found Sahra and Denise without a scratch, so they doubted their narrative, until the men confessed that they were hired by the grannies. So the police told their friends not to worry, and that they would let them go in the morning. That night, Denise and Sahra spent their first night in jail arguing. He blamed her for ending up there, while she blamed him, saying if he hadn't intervened, the police would have believed it was self-defense. He said he was just trying to help, but she refused his help since he was the one who asked her to never talk to him again. And the fight continued all night until they finally surrendered to a peaceful sleep. The next morning, they were free, and Denise offered her a ride on his bike. She accepted, as there was no other option. Denise started to speed up, and she was scared, so she asked him to slow down. But instead, he laughed at her, calling her a coward, which made her lose her temper and ask him to stop in the middle of the road. Then she let it all out. All her anger. She told him that he's the most selfish, irritating, and rude person she has ever met, and that he has no consideration for anyone's feelings except his own, and because of his negative attitude, she can't do anything nice when he's around. As for her fear of bikes, it was because she lost her parents in an accident caused by one, something she would have told him if he just asked, but he chose to laugh instead. After she let it all out, she asked if they can go back to being best friends, but Denise told her they were never friends in the first place. Finally, he dropped the mean attitude and revealed his true feelings. Obviously, this secret crush had come to an end, as they both confessed their love to each other. Then, they went back to their grannies and friends, who were worried about these two coming together, fighting all the way, but were surprised to see them so relaxed and cheerful. These joyful moments couldn't pass without interruption from Sahra's rival, who knew she was trying to make a better cover for the current month and wanted to ruin her plan. Sahra was stressed that anything could go wrong. To make her feel better, Denise took her on a trip. They hung out and went to many places. Then, he took her to a place that was once special to both of them. This was the place that led to their separation, as when they were 15, Denise considered it a secret place between them, but Sahra invited many friends and threw a party there. He felt betrayed, and that maybe his love was one-sided. However, Sahra apologized, saying she loved him too, and felt it was only her loving him. Actually, that wasn't the only reason the relationship ended, because after that incident, Sarah lost her parents, while Denise traveled with his parents to Germany, where they divorced. His mother left for Italy, and his father remarried, leaving him lonely, doing the only thing he ever loved, photography. Since then, they hadn't been able to communicate well. With all the misunderstandings cleared, they spent a lot of time together, and Denise surprised her with a gift. He collected rocks from every place he had been to for her. As the grannies wished, they loved each other truly, and had so much fun together. All that time, Sarah didn't say a word about the interview, waiting for the right time to find out why he kept his identity hidden. He told her that his pictures tell the whole story, and he wants them to have the full attention without being compared, which is why he refused the international award. His real reward was having that deep connection with his audience. Sarah realized it was impossible to convince him to do the interview, and decided to resign rather than losing her love. She would just work on her last cover for the current month and make it a hit, then leave. Things didn't go as planned, as her rival played dirty games and stole the photographer for her photo shoot. She panicked, not knowing where to find the photographer before dawn, unaware that the best photographer ever was right next to her. Denise offered his help under one condition: his identity must remain unknown, and Sarah gladly agreed. With the new dawn, Sarah watched excitedly as Denise did the perfect job for her cover. All went well until her rival came into the scene. He learned that Denise is the mysterious photographer, and that he's Sahra's winning card against him. So he used that information and told Denise that Sahra was using him for only an interview. Feeling heartbroken, Denise waited for Sahra to deny this, and she did. She told him she wanted the interview at the beginning, but not anymore. She tried to prove to him that what they had was real, and she never had the intention of using him, but he couldn't believe it. He gave her permission to reveal his identity on the next cover, if that was all she ever wanted, and left. Filled with regret, Sarah drowned in sadness. She had no idea how to fix that till she came to a realization. If she lost Denise forever, then at least she should make the best cover, win the bet to save her team, and get rid of her rival. After the cover was released, Denise decided to give it a try, and read it. She revealed everything about him in the best way possible, but kept his identity hidden as he wished. However, she confessed that he was her childhood friend, and the love of her life. She exposed the reason behind his secret identity, and that he believes his pictures were enough to tell his story. After reading it, Denise rushed to her. She was at a party celebrating her new position. She didn't care about the promotion and just wanted to go home until Denise arrived, accepting her apology and love. Her face went bright again, and they celebrated their love in front of the whole gathering. Finally, they began their happily ever after.